Hey guys, it's Jase at Jase Outdoors, and in this video I'm going to be field testing a new fixed broadhead by Muzzy.
The Muzzy One. It got its name because it's machined from one solid piece of stainless steel with a cutting diameter of 1 1/8 of an inch, a total cutting surface of 3 3/8 of an inch, and blades that are .046 of an inch thick. You can sharpen these as much as you want. I don't really know what else to say about them. It's a broadhead. You put it on the end of an arrow. It cuts things. Muzzy. Bad to the bone.
So I picked up a new pack of these Muzzy broadheads because I really like the concept of them. They're called Muzzy One, and that's because they're carved from one piece of steel. You can sharpen these things until there's nothing left. So I thought I'd want to give them a try, and the biggest question still remains of any fixed broadhead is, can I get them to fly right? So let's open these things up and see how it goes. Whew. All right, so the pack wasn't exactly the easiest thing in the world to get into. And here they are. They feel nice and sharp. So we're gonna throw these on a scale real quick. They are 100 grains. They have a 1 1/8 inch of a cut. And that's exactly at 100 grains. Exactly 100 grains. Exactly 100 grains. Boy, they're dead on. Usually they'll fluctuate a little bit, but those are right on. So I guess there's not a whole lot of other things to do with them other than shoot them, see how they fly. It looks like it's flying like a dart. It's still might be just on the low end of that. With all these lights on, it's actually hard for me to see out the window. But it's definitely perfectly in line. I'm not shooting left or right. The arrow is not planing. So they really aren't. They're about an inch apart, but to me an inch might as well be a mile. So I'm going to just try this again. It's right in there, I think. Like I said, it's actually hard for me to see out the window, but I know I'm close. But again, I know I'm shooting right next to my broadhead or my field tips, and that's all I need to know, really. I'm just going to keep trying these some more in the field, and I like them. Alright, so I just wanted to do a little more real-life scenario of shooting outside with these broadheads and not out of my studio window. So we're going to try again at 20 yards. And it's right in there. So my first shot, I was probably about a 1/4 of an inch low, if that, and for me that's right in there. But I don't see any issues with these flying. I'm just standing behind, and I'm sure it's kind of hard to tell from the camera angle, but there's no planing, fishtailing, or any weird movements from these. They're flying perfectly straight. Tad low and left a little bit, but So it was about the same spot as the last time. I'm just a tad bit low, but I tend to hold a touch low. Again, they're flying good. That time I took the tape off. So the one complaint that I have read about these broadheads is a guy said they were way too noisy. With those machined holes, it just kind of whistled. I don't really know. So what I'm going to do is set the camera up. The target is right here behind the camera. I'm going to go 20 yards. I'm going to shoot right past the microphone, and then compare that with a field tip to just kind of see what the difference is. This is 20 yards with the Muzzy One. This is 20 yards with the field tip. I can certainly tell a difference when shooting standing behind the arrow that the broadhead is noisier, but I'm not sure at what point it's too noisy. I mean, any broadhead, you know, is louder than a field tip, so I almost let that for you guys to decide, I guess. I'll even do it a couple more times. Alright, so I did just play that back in the camera to listen to it, and it's really hard for me to tell the difference, so I boosted up the microphone sensitivity a little bit, just to see if we can increase it to really kind of compare the difference. I don't know in the end if this is really going to be much of an issue, but we'll see. This is 20 yards with the Muzzy One. I stuck that right in the tape. That second shot was a field tip. I'm an inch apart from each other, and I was not even aiming at the same spot because I don't want to break any arrows. But as far as it being noisy, I mean, it's louder. Is it too noisy? I don't really know. Alright, so this one here, I'm going to back up to 30 yards. The camera is directly behind the deer target, and I'm hoping I don't regret this. But just to hear what it sounds like from the deer's perspective, and maybe see what the camera can see with the arrow in flight. This is the Muzzy One at 30 yards. Practice tip at 20 yards. Practice tip, 20 yards. Well, after shooting these a handful of times, I think these broadheads are good. They fly good, they're sharp. I see no issues with these. Again, as long as you know you have your bow's in tune, you can shoot a fixed blade. I suggest giving these a try. They are louder. Louder than what though? I don't know. I mean, any fixed broadhead is noisier than a mechanical. You know, there's essentially wings hanging off them, so they're going to be louder. Isn't an issue? I don't think so. In the end, I think these broadheads are good. They might even end up my quiver this year, so we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching, guys.